Ever had that sinking feeling in your stomach for no apparent reason? You're not alone. Anxiety affects nearly everyone, yet few truly understand why it happens. Did you know that over 40 million adults in the U.S. suffer from anxiety disorders, according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America? In the next few minutes, we're going to dive deep into why anxiety is so common and how it affects us. Understanding it is the first step toward feeling better. Anxiety is our body's natural response to stress, that uneasy feeling we get when we're worried. Whether it's a big presentation, an important exam, or even a challenging conversation. But have you ever wondered why these anxious feelings don't simply go away, even when the situation doesn't seem that threatening? Anxiety has become a constant companion for many of us, and it's important to understand why. Our brains are wired to respond to threats through something called the fight or flight response. This is a survival mechanism that helps us deal with danger. Have you ever felt your heart race before a big presentation? That's your brain preparing you for a threat, even when the threat isn't as immediate as a lion chasing you. In the past, this response was useful when we face predators, but today it's triggered by less obvious threats like work stress, social media notifications, or looming deadlines. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a lion and an email, so the anxiety feels just as real. One of the biggest contributors to anxiety today is the overwhelming pressure of modern life, especially social media. We constantly see everyone's highlight reels, perfect vacations, relationships, and achievements, which makes us compare ourselves. This constant comparison often leads to feelings of inadequacy and worry. We might feel like we're not doing enough or falling behind, even though everyone has their own struggles behind closed doors. But anxiety doesn't just affect our minds. It also takes a toll on our bodies. When we're stressed, our bodies release hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are meant to prepare us for immediate danger, but when anxiety becomes chronic, these chemicals can lead to long-term issues like insomnia, digestive problems, and even heart disease. Over time, stress keeps us in a constant state of alertness, which leads to fatigue and a weakened immune system. This creates a cycle of anxiety that's tough to break. Genetics also play a role in how prone we are to anxiety. If anxiety runs in your family, you're more likely to experience it. But it's not just about genetics. Our environment, especially stressful life experiences like trauma, can increase our vulnerability to anxiety as adults. It's the combination of our genetic makeup and our environment that shapes how we handle stress. A major factor that makes anxiety worse is our thinking patterns. People prone to anxiety often engage in catastrophic thinking. They jump to worst-case scenarios, focusing on what could go wrong instead of considering more balanced possibilities. For instance, you might think, if I don't do well on this project, I'll lose my job. Or if I make a mistake, people will judge me forever. This kind of thinking escalates anxiety by focusing on the potential negative outcomes rather than what's actually happening in the moment. So, what can we do to manage anxiety? The first step is understanding that anxiety is a normal response to stress. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's simply your body signaling that something matters. One effective way to manage anxiety is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you focus on the present moment, which breaks the cycle of overthinking. Physical exercise is another powerful tool. When we move our bodies, we release endorphins, natural chemicals that promote calm and happiness. Whether it's a walk, yoga, or a workout, exercise helps lower stress levels and improve mood. It's also important to challenge negative thinking. If you catch yourself thinking catastrophically, try to ask, what's the evidence for this thought? And what's a more balanced perspective? Over time, these small changes can help retrain your brain to respond more calmly. If anxiety ever feels overwhelming, it's crucial to reach out for help. Therapy, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can be incredibly effective. CBT helps you identify thought patterns and develop coping strategies tailored to your needs. In some cases, medication may also be recommended, especially when anxiety is significantly impacting your daily life. But it's important to work with a healthcare provider to find the best approach. Anxiety is complex, but by understanding its causes, we can take control and reduce its impact. Remember, you're not alone. Everyone experiences anxiety to some degree. With the right tools and support, You can manage anxiety and still live a fulfilling life. So, next time you feel anxious, take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's okay to feel this way. You're doing your best, and that's enough.